Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. First off, thanks to my subscribers. If you haven't done so, please do so. That's enough of that. So if you looked at the description in my video today, I'm going to show you guys how to hang a door on a Fox body. It's super simple if you're by yourself. Now this door is empty shell. I'm going to put the latch back in it. The door striker is already on the car. The bolts are over by the cowl. It's ready to go. I know a lot of guys aren't familiar with hanging the doors, how to adjust them for the body lines and how to make them fit. So first off, when you're trying to hang a door, I always start with the door pins. If your door pins are shot, you need to replace the door pins. I'm going to show you my door pins. I replaced the lower one. I'll show you that real quick. You got to make sure your plastic's on your striker. When you say plastic, I'll show you what I mean by that. 9 out of 10 Fox bodies, the door striker is mostly the problem. Also, the door latch, mine was really gunked up with years of, white lithium grease, WD-40, junk, dirt, grime. I always clean those out before I put them back on, and then once I'm done doing all my paint body work, I'll re-grease them and lubricate them. You don't want to do that if you're painting prior to that, because you don't want fish eyes and problems with your paint. I've seen that happen before. So further ado, I'll show you guys the stuff I'm using today. I don't want to make this video super long. First off, I'll apologize for the camera if it's going to be shaky at some points. I'm just going to set it up, randomly to try to show you guys quickly how to do this and how to install your latch back in your door. This one's already out. It's clean, ready to go. So let me show you this stuff real quick. So here's the latch. I've already cleaned this one. I got all the old nasty years of crap out of there. It's all cleaned up, ready to go. Looks new again. This is what it looked like. This one is gold anodized. Some of them are silver, some of them are gold, but this is what that one looked like. It was just full of crap and gunk and just looked really nasty. Now it's back to looking new. On the striker, when I talk about plastic, there's a piece of plastic, and here's some right here. This is a new one. You can buy them from AutoZone. I buy them all the time. Sometimes they work good, sometimes they don't. You just take the centerpiece out of the striker itself and replace the plastic. But 9 out of 10 Fox bodies, if your door shuts or drops or just shuts like poo, 9 times out of 10, that's the problem. So again, I get them from the help section there in AutoZone. Not sponsored by AutoZone, but that's just where I get a lot of my stuff. So they do make an aftermarket striker. Dan Carpenter's doing tooling on those now. You can get them at your big distributors, LMR. And if you live in Georgia, MPS is now a distributor of Dan Carpenter tooling parts. So if you don't want to wait 5 days on parts and you're close to Georgia, hit them up. Not sponsored by them either. Just throwing them out there. I found it out last week. So over here on my door hinge, I've already replaced the hinge. If you can see the aftermarket E-clip on the bottom. Some of them come like that. This particular pin kit I got from AutoZone again. You can buy them there. Let me walk over there real quick. I think here's the part number for the Ford kit. For you guys that don't want to wait 5 days from somebody else to send you a part, there's the Ford part number from AutoZone, 38410. You can see it says for Ford right there on the inside. They fit great. Fit just as good as any kit I've bought from any of the big distributors of reproduction parts. Now, some of you guys may say, oh, I put new bushings in. I still got a lot of wiggle. As you can see, mine don't hardly have any. Sometimes your bushing will be completely gone and it actually wears the metal hinge itself. If you run into that, and we'll go back to old AutoZone again, not sponsored, they sell a bushing kit, just random size, different bushings. I've run into that before. Sometimes you need to change the size of the brass bushing that goes in the hinge. If it doesn't fit completely, to upsize the bushing, you can just use a drill or file it out till you can get that bushing to fit. I've ran into that a few times on some Fox bodies. Works really well. Now over here, this is a striker. As you can see, this one's got the plastic on it. This was in pretty good shape on this car, so I didn't have any problems with that. But that's the plastic piece I'm talking about. If your door shuts bad, that's the first place to start. A lot of you guys have bushings that are just kind of weak. You can also loosen up the lower door hinge and kind of adjust the door up on the car itself. Just pull the fender liner out. I've done that on some cars for some people just to get them by for another couple years. So I'm going to throw the latch in here. The latch I normally put in through this hole right here. It takes about 5 minutes. It's not hard at all. I'll throw the door up on the car myself. I'll latch it to the car. I keep my bolts handy. I put them right here. Doesn't take long at all. So I'm trying to make this video short, so not to bore you guys to death, but as you can see, I got my doors all cleaned up, re-primed. I'll seam seal them before I get ready to paint them. So without further, we'll check this out. So I got you guys set up real quick. Like I said, I'm going to try to throw this in there. Excuse the dad bod. I hear they're in right now. So it's pretty easy. Leave a long rod. Just leave this long rod on the latch right here. Let's see if we can get you guys in the picture a little bit better. So normally just slide the rod through the hole. Takes about now, if I'm making this look easy, it's because I've probably done 100 of these. So on these screws, when you initially take them out, Ford uses a yellow thread lock from the factory, and most of the time they're a bear to get out. So if you can't get the screws out of your door latch, heat them up with a heat gun. That works. I actually use MAP gas bottle. It's laying right over there. Works really well. Problem with that, if you're not repainting your doors and you're just replacing the latch, sometimes you can burn the paint and it needs to be repainted. So heat gun if you're not doing any paint work. I find that MAP gas on low, heat each screw up just a little bit. So on the center of your door, on your door rod, where it goes in, there's a little white piece, looks like this. It goes over the rod. You just turn it to lock the rod in place. The door handle, super simple, not hard at all. Just push it through. Set it back in a hole, and that's pretty much it. So there's a screw that goes in there. I did drop it in the door. What did it say? If anything will happen, it will. So we'll fish that out there later. So I'm going to slide this out of the way real quick. Show you guys how to throw that door on there if you're by yourself. So we're going to set the door. You're basically going to set it up to the car, put it on the door latch. You hear it click, it latches in place. Walk up to the front of the door. Start your screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them. Sorry about that. So there you go. I just threw that up there. The striker's not in place. It's just there to show you guys how easy it is to hang a door if you're by yourself. So I'm going to put you guys on pause. And then once I get the door adjusted, I'll show you my little tricks to that. So hold on. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Welcome back. So the first thing you're probably thinking is, what the heck are those rotors in there for? So what a lot of people don't talk to you about is doing what's, I call it, doored preload. So when these doors are empty, they don't weigh anything. You know, then you install the door handle, the door window, the regulator, the trim, the felt, the body molding. You add a lot of weight to these doors. So when you're trying to adjust body gaps and body lines on an empty door, if you get them lined up perfect, with nothing in the door, by the time you add 100 pounds to that door, this body line right here is going to drop 1/8 of an inch. So what I refer to it as just door preload. I'll put these rotors in the top of my door. I've been using these rotors for, I don't know, look at them, probably 10 years for a door preload on my doors. They probably weigh about, I think, 50 pounds between the pair, maybe 40 pounds. Just enough to get enough weight on the door that when I shut it, if you watch how this door shuts, just be careful Like I said, see how easy that opens? The rotors just sit in there. They're not going to go anywhere. I don't slam the door, but it just shuts. I'm going to hardly push on it. That's how a Fox body door should shut. So if you're doing these doors or restoring these cars or trying, it's your first time, and if you look down here on the bottom, you see how nice and straight the body line is. So when I set that door on there, it was almost perfect. I lifted the front of the door up just enough up here at the front of this door, just so you kind of get your fingertips in between the gap right there. That's kind of how I adjust the doors. And then you can use the actual bolts in the hinge once you get it tightened on the car to move the door forward, backwards, up, down, however you want it. I've been doing this long enough. It takes me, I don't know, about 20 minutes to set a door. It's not hard. But you see how good this gap is right here? So this is what I use to do my door gaps. So how do you set your door gaps? Just, you know, good old-fashioned paint stick. I try to do it just like that. Fits great all the way down. The bottom might be a little tighter. Now some of these doors, if you see this, kind of sticks out a little bit. That's just forward. There's not much you can do with that. You can put a 2x4 in between the door up here and lightly push the corner of the door with your foot to kind of tweak the door. I've done that before too. You just got to be really careful when you do that because you can really damage the door. So that's pretty much it. Sorry for the shaky camera. It's tough doing this stuff when you're by yourself. Now I will tell you, if you're trying to hang a door and it is complete, they're heavy as heck. Maybe get a friend. I can do them myself. I've done a bunch of them. Nothing new for me, but for you guys that haven't tried this at home, like I said, you see how easy this thing opens now. I will tell you, if I take these rotors off, the door's going to pop up about 1/8 of an inch just because there's no weight on the door. Like I said, I call it just door preload. There's the latch back in the door. Looks nice, looks new. So I like to put my doors on the car before I paint my door jambs, mainly because I want to seam seal the door hinges like the factory did right here. They seam seal on the top. I want to get my bolts all painted so there's no scratches or nothing like that. Make it look like it came from the factory that way. So again, thank you guys if you wasted 15 minutes of your life or 12 minutes or whatever this video is going to be watching this video. Thanks for taking the time. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, not going to beat a dead horse. If you want to, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. Just trying to show you guys Fox body stuff. Simple ways of doing things. I'm going to reassemble this door. I had a request. Somebody wanted to know how to put one back together. Once I get the door jambs painted, I'm going to paint the whole door on the inside where it's primered. Fresh new red paint. So once that's done, I'll show you guys how to reassemble the door. It's not hard. It's just simple, some simple tricks to getting everything in there where it's not that much of a problem. But again, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And you guys have a great day.